Okay, time to finish our six trapezoids and kites. And oh, guys, we get to complete the quadrilateral family tree today.
Nice. Yay. I didn't wait for that.
Okay, I do want to give you obviously as much work time as possible, so let's quickly finish this up. Just as a refresher, we ended talking about kites. They kind of have two characteristics you need to know. Their diagonals are perpendicular. And I guess what makes a kite is not parallel sides, opposite parallel sides, but two consecutive, meaning touching each other, congruent sides. Okay, two pairs of those. That's what makes a kite. So as I mentioned, the two properties, the diagonals are perpendicular, and the opposite pair of angles that are between the non-congruent sides are congruent. Okay, so that was the example problem we did there. So you can see 121 degrees. That angle was kind of wedged between the two non-congruent sides. So its opposite angle Z would also be 121 degrees. So it's made up of the two non-congruent sides. And we figured all quadrilaterals have interior angles that up to 360. So that's how we solved that one. Okay, so this one here says this is a kite, and we can tell by them showing us these two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. So we can tell it's a kite. Okay, they want us to find NP. They want us to find this length. Here's what I know. I know this length is 6. I know this length is 8. And I know these are perpendicular. That's one characteristic about kites. Diagonals are perpendicular. So what I can do is I can find MN in this little right triangle using Pythag. And I know that's going to be congruent to the side I'm trying to find, NP. Okay, so I'm just going to call this X for now. Pythag, which is my 2 legs squared, equals my hypotenuse squared. 36 and 64 would total 100. What's the square root of 100, team?
10.
10. X would be 10. So if MN is 10, NP would also be 10. Because NP is congruent to MN. So NP would also be 10. Okay, there's basically an example problem of each of those characteristics of kites. The angle idea, the perpendicular diagonals. That's what all you need to know for kites. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to do this. So, we've really been focused the last few days on this set of our family known as parallelograms. So we even looked at special types of parallelograms, rectangles, rhombi, squares. So as I mentioned, kites are kind of their own thing. So off to the side here, my other member of my family is kites. And what makes a kite is 2 pairs of consecutive congruent sides. If you want to label this, you could also label that these angles made by the 2 non-congruent sides, those would be congruent. If you want to label that, you can. All right, so kites are kind of their own thing. Not a type of parallelogram, right? It doesn't have parallel sides. Okay. And then the other kind of separate category that's not the parallelogram that we talked about yesterday was trapezoids. And as a reminder, what makes a trapezoid is they only have 1 pair of opposite parallel sides, which we call the bases. And then the other 2 non-parallel sides we call legs. If those legs are congruent, it's still a type of a trapezoid. What do we call those? Isosceles trapezoid. Okay, this one we didn't talk about, and it won't show up on any assessments or anything, but it's still a member of the trapezoid and the quadrilateral family, so I didn't want to disclude it, is if we have a trapezoid that has two right angles. So it's still a trapezoid. It's a type of a trapezoid. This is called a right trapezoid. And you can see the legs are still non-parallel, but they wouldn't be congruent, so it wouldn't be an isosceles, it's just a trapezoid. Okay, wait, we're gonna vote on your favorite quadrilateral. Siler, pay attention. All right, we're gonna say your favorites could be, we'll do trapezoids number 1, parallelograms 2, height is 3, rhombi is 4, squares are 5, rectangles 6, right trapezoid 7, isosceles is 8. Okay, I know it's not great to pick favorites in families. I'm not my parents' favorite. I'm a middle child, so we all know how that goes. Least favorite. Second born to make it even worse. Just kidding. I'm not over it. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. Raise your hand. Number 1, trapezoids are your favorite.
Roy likes you, trapezoid.
Whoa! It's okay. All right. Parallelograms number 2. Okay. Okay. Heights? Anybody?
You guys are high.
3. Sorry, that was funny. That was really funny. Okay. So glad that's going to be recorded and posted on YouTube. Under my teacher account, thank you. Rhombi, number 4.
Wow.
All right. 5 squares. That was the crowd favorite in my last class by far. It was like a landslide. That's what they said. I was like, classic Gen Zers just trying to pick the easiest one. All right. Rectangle 6. Okay.
Wow.
Right trapezoids. Isosceles trapezoids. Some of you guys didn't vote.
I know. I was like,
Yeah, half the class didn't vote.
Oh, you did.
Which one's your favorite?
Yeah, exactly.
What? Rectangle.
I'm
You love them all equally. You can't pick a favorite. I get it. All right, that's all.
Wait, actually, I'm going to talk about assessments next week. So.